The sun is out, the heat is on. That means only one thing, football is back.
Let's go Ravens! We're coming for the Super Bowl, baby! Let's go!
Excitement is building for the Baltimore Ravens' 30th season in the NFL.
We have a lot planned for this year. Our home opener, our regular season home opener, is going to give a big nod to our 30th season and look back at some of our former players and football history in Baltimore.
And there's plenty of reasons to be hopeful that the team will be successful.
Lamar's special, man. I feel like, every time I'm at practice and game, you're just watching a superhero at work.
So strap your pads on and get ready for camp. This is Camp Confidential, Baltimore Ravens. Hello everyone and welcome to Owings Mills, Maryland. I'm Ryan Yee. We are here at the Under Armour Performance Center where the Baltimore Ravens are gearing up for another NFL season. For the next half hour, we're going to get you ready as well. We're going to take a look at that 2025-26 season schedule, also talk with some of the players that are going to have impacts on the field, get an update on M&T Bank Stadium's renovations, and talk with a coach who's having an impact on the next generation of women in sports. But first, let's have a look at those matchups that are coming up for the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore opens the 2025 regular season with a primetime showdown on Sunday night, Week 1 in Buffalo against the Bills, a rematch of last year's Ravens playoff exit and a stiff early test on the road. Week 2 brings the Cleveland Browns to M&T Bank Stadium, a classic AFC North clash. Then, Monday Night Football on September 22nd, Week 3, Baltimore hosts the Detroit Lions. Week 4 is another major road test, a late Sunday afternoon game in Kansas City against the Chiefs, one of the toughest venues in the NFL. Then it's a 3-game homestand, which doesn't see the Ravens playing outside of Maryland for most of October. They host Houston on October 5th, the LA Rams on October 12th, going into the bye in Week 7. Then they'll take on the Chicago Bears before finally going back on the road at Miami in Week 9 for a Thursday night game against the Dolphins. That's the first of 3 straight on the road. It's at Minnesota Week 10, at Cleveland Week 11. Baltimore then gets 3 home games in a row against the Jets, Thanksgiving night AFC North showdown versus the Cincinnati Bengals, then Week 14, December 7th, the first of 2 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens finish out the last 4 weeks of the season with 3 out of 4 on the road. At the Bengals Week 15, they host New England a few days before Christmas, then Week 17, it's a trip to storied Lambeau Field for a date with the Green Bay Packers. And then they finish the season in Pittsburgh Week 18 against the Steelers. And we are pleased to be joined by Isaiah Likely, tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. Isaiah, appreciate the time and speaking with us, man. I guess we'll start off right off the top. How's it feeling? 2025 season right around the corner. Guys look pretty good out there so far.
For sure. Can't wait. Living the little kid dream. Obviously, when football's back, you always look forward to it. You're always like, man, when do you get to play football? When you get to training camp, you get around the guys again. It's like, okay, now you get the feeling of football.
You see all these screaming fans out here. It's pretty funny. You go down the gauntlet and the kids are chanting names and things like that. To have them around and to kind of get through you through this heat, how much fun is it to kind of put on a show for these guys, even though it's just training camp?
Man, it shows you how much the city of Baltimore loves the Ravens. It shows you, whether it's practice, game, whether it's preseason in the game, in the playoffs, regular season, it doesn't matter. Fans are going to come out here, going to show you, a great time. It's going to cheer you on. It's going to cheer for a great catch by the offense, a PBU by the defense. They're going to be out here excited, no matter what.
I think a big word now, kind of talking about the outlook of this upcoming season, a word I'm seeing a lot is expectation, right? I think a lot of people and a lot of fans, a lot of critics are kind of expecting a lot from the Baltimore Ravens this year, obviously coming off of a AFC North title there and obviously kind of dominating that division as of late. But mindset kind of heading into this year for you guys from within the locker room, is that what the standard is right now? And is that kind of how you're approaching it, that you guys want to reach that high expectation?
For sure. The standard is always going to be a Super Bowl champion. But understanding that, you don't get to the Super Bowl by looking that far ahead. You take it one game at a time, one practice at a time, one meeting at a time, one everything at a time. So really just being where your feet are, one foot in front of the other, and really just taking it day by day. And, when we play like us, we'll reach our ultimate goal.
And then for you personally, I think you're coming off one of your better seasons. I think a career high in touchdowns, career high in receptions. How do you build off of that? And it does look like when I was going through kind of your numbers, it is something that you're kind of on a upwards into the right trajectory, right? So how do you continue that momentum heading into this year for you personally?
Really just always, being open ears to, things you can improve on. Obviously, you know what you're good at, you know what you do well, but obviously watching the film, in the meeting rooms, taking notes, obviously talking to your quarterback, talking to players around, on your team and really just listen to your coaches on things you can improve on, tells you give the defense already, or things you could really just learn while you're out there, to get a heartbeat on defense.
Talk about that connection with Lamar. I mean, you guys seem to have been clicking definitely at certain points of the season last year. This year, I'm sure it'll be the same. What's that relationship with him that you have with Lamar, and how fun is it to have a quarterback of that caliber that gets to throw you the ball every single day?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar's special, man. I feel like, every time I'm at practice and game, you're just watching a superhero at work. But, coming in the league, I've always had built the mantra of he's like my big brother. So really just, playing around with him in the locker room, playing the game, going out with him, going out to eat, just being around Lamar outside of the building made, coming in the building, playing football with him just that much easier. Just understanding, how we are, how competitive we are together, and really just understand that, like, in my mind, any ball he throws to me is my ball and no ball. And I feel like that mantra just always has him to have the face to throw any type of pass to me and know that I'm going to come down with it.
For you personally, what's a successful 2025 for you?
Man, just getting to the ultimate goal. I mean, winning games is always going to have you create your ultimate goal, because if I'm playing my best, that means the team's playing their best. So really just understand that, the more that the win column is filled and our goal is holding the trophy, that means I had a great season.
And let me tell you that the ultimate goal is shared by fans. I think every single time I talked to the fan and said, what's your prediction? What's your thoughts of the 2025 year? It's like, for lack of a better term, Super Bowl or bust for all these people. So the expectation is high. So what I'll throw to you is, what's the message you have for the fans that are saying that out there?
Man, just wait for the season. September's right around the corner, for sure.
Perfect. Awesome. Appreciate it, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Always.
The Ravens have been making upgrades to M&T Bank Stadium. It's all part of a 3-year renovation plan. Fans saw cushioned seats added last year, along with new club-level amenities, such as an upgraded view and social area. Part 2 of the project will be ready for this season, and the full project should be wrapped up in time for the start of the next season. And to tell us more about those upgrades that fans are going to be able to check out this season, we're joined by Brad Downs, Senior Vice President of Marketing for the Ravens. Brad, appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. Let's start there. Let's start about kind of some of those upgrades that fans are going to be able to see there at M&T Bank Stadium.
Sure, we're in year 2 of a 3-year renovation at M&T Bank Stadium. Wrapping up year 2, our second round. So we're really excited about what's in store at the stadium this year at M&T.
And awesome. And maybe some of those specific changes. What are some of the things that fans will get to see and notice?
Yeah, so this year we're opening 3 new club areas on our service level that will be open for this season. And then we're bringing on our North Plaza project, has 2 buildings. One of those buildings is going to be completed this year. It's a retail store and a hospitality area. And then our hospitality village, which used to extend around the stadium, is sitting adjacent to that area. And will be a really cool feel. There'll be a courtyard there, big screen on the wall. And then finally, the other big piece, we're adding significant amounts of LED around the concourse for our fans. So as they navigate the concourse, grab concessions, hit the restroom, they don't miss a second of the game.
That's very, very cool. Now, those changes, or I guess the midst of those changes, come in a pretty big year for the franchise. 30th anniversary, which is pretty exciting stuff. Big year for you guys, so I'm sure there's lots of stuff in store for fans as well in that big year.
Yeah, it starts. We're excited to get people back to the stadium here on August 3rd for our stadium practice. And then our preseason kicks off August 7th. It's family night, and that really launches us into our 30th season. We have a lot planned for this year. Our home opener, our regular season home opener, is going to give a big nod to our 30th season and look back at some of our former players and football history in Baltimore. So we're excited to kick off the 30th season.
Any teasers that you can maybe kind of give hints to people that what they'll expect on that opening day?
I'm sworn to secrecy on that, but there's some good stuff coming this season for sure.
There you go. I'm sure fans have lots to look forward to. And then I guess talking about after that opening kind of game kicks off and you get into the thick of the season, when it comes to this 30th year and every year that you guys provide to fans, what's that experience you want them to have when they get to M&T Bank Stadium and enjoy all those improvements and get to watch the game and some pretty dang good football as well? What do you want them getting back in their cars after that game day and experiencing?
I mean, simply put, we want to have the best experience in professional sports. That's our goal. And that's the organization's belief. It's how we support and prioritize those things. And we want a lifelong memory. We want them in their car on the way home having something that they took away from that game that they're going to remember for a very long time. We take things very seriously down there. The experience around the game, we want to be second to none, like I said, and it just feeds that energy in the building, and every decision we make goes to that. So we love working on it. We love pushing the envelope and trying to make ourselves better every year, and this year's no different.
And that experience, I think, starts here at training camp, right? And you see the fans kind of rolling in and how excited they are, all decked out in their purple gear. And I'm sure you're excited to see that and have fans back here. But when it comes to training camp particularly, I think it's a cool experience for fans because they can really almost have that interaction feel, right? They're so close to the field, they get to see the players. Can you speak on that kind of community aspect about how you guys really want to have that tight-knit feel? And when you're a Ravens fan, you're really brought into a special community.
It all starts here at training camp. You know, if you look around today while you're here, any day at training camp, about 50% of our guests here are kids. And we value that tremendously. We know this is where fandom starts. And to get them here with their families in their Ravens gear and to be this close to the team and the players, we have a huge post-practice autograph session for those kids. So it really builds us the foundation of the next generation of our fans. And to see their excitement and their parents' excitement, or we have youth football teams, it's why we do what we do. And we understand the platform that we have to build those experiences and conversely create lifelong fans.
And I guess you kind of touched on it. Like for you guys as a team, from you all the way down, to get to see those experiences firsthand, you see that kid come through and wearing that Lamar Jackson jersey and grabbing, you know, the purple like memorabilia that you got today. What's that feel like for you guys when you get to see that firsthand?
Rewarding. You know, the off seasons go quick, but in the off season we lose that connection with our fans for the most part. So this is the celebration of it's back. It's football's back. Our fans come back. They get to wear their gear, and it's just rewarding to see the fans' excitement around this. And you know, we understand that's driven by the team, but the more we can do to enhance that and showcase these guys is great.
And that Ravens fan group, I think, extends past Baltimore, right? Like you got fans that travel from all over the place. Obviously, Central Pennsylvania is a big hotbed for Baltimore Ravens fans, but even further than that, you can find the purple anywhere, I think, in the United States. So for you guys to keep that in mind and know that there are going to be fans coming from far and wide to come to training camp or come to one of those games, can you speak on that kind of knowledge of knowing that purple extends past Baltimore?
100%. I mean, like you said, Central Pennsylvania, York area is a great area for Ravens fans. A lot of fans that we have that drive down from that area to camp, to games, to Baltimore in and of itself. So understanding, it kind of all plays into it, right? So we know there's people here today, there's people on games who traveled a long way to get here. And it just continues to stress that importance of putting on a great experience, making sure that they are making that long trek home, just feeling great about the experience that they had today. Maybe cooling off a little bit today, but that they had a great experience while they were here.
And then last for me, a message that you have for Ravens fans who come out to training camp or come out to any of your games this season. What is it that you would like to say to them?
Bring your energy, bring your excitement, and have fun. You know, I mean, we want people to have fun. We want people to have a great experience and leave them with the feeling that they can't wait to come back. So enjoy the days out here at camp, and can't wait to see them at the bank.
Awesome. Well, Brad, appreciate it. Senior Vice President of Marketing for the Ravens. It was awesome to speak with you.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.
And we are pleased to be joined with by Baltimore Ravens linebacker Adewale. Adewale, man, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. I guess we'll start off by kind of the same question I've been asking all the players. How you feeling? 2025 season is here, training camp full swing. How's it feel?
I feel good. I feel like the team feels good. We're in a good spot, and you know, I'm happy that we're getting started.
You come out here and you see fans like this, right? Like just the roar. Does it get the juices flowing again and really show you that football's back?
Yeah, you know, working out off season is cool. You know, you get to rest, you get to, you know, prepare, set your mind. But like, I was so ready to get back, and you know, having the fans out here, you know, them cheering every good thing that we do, even when we're just doing practice drills, they're cheering, calling your name. It just lets you know that the season's coming, and you know, we want to perform and do well for them. So you know, we're getting everything right. You know, tighten the bolts, and you know, we'll be ready by the season.
What's the vibe like in the locker room right now? What's the kind of mindset heading into the season?
Yeah, it's like everyone has accountability for themselves. Everyone knows like this is a year that we have all the right pieces, and frankly, we've had all the right pieces for the past 2 years. But this is a year that we all want to do what we have to do our 111th, because we have the talent and we can do something like legendary this year.
And for you personally, you're coming off a year where I think many would say is your career best. I mean, 10 sacks last year, pretty impressive stuff. How do you build off that, and how do you kind of take a season like that and then kind of move forward here and say, I want to supersede that here in this upcoming year?
Yeah, I mean, being a professional is like, being tough on yourself, but also like patting yourself on the back, knowing that obviously it was a career year for me, but there was so many that, so much things that I left on the table, and that still was 10 sacks is my baseline now, and that's a great baseline. So, little things I can get better at, and I'm happy that, the sky's the limit for me.
I think a word that is kind of common that you see in kind of all the articles being written about kind of the expectation, like that's the word, expectation for this team. Obviously, AFC North champs, want to kind of get over that hump in the playoff time. What's kind of that aspect? How do you guys deal with that pressure of a lot of people expecting you guys to do really well this year, and you guys kind of embracing that and taking that with you guys here in the season?
If you didn't have pressure on you, that's an insult. So, we take it with, the utmost respect, but we also understand that it's a privilege, and that, we have such a great city in Baltimore, on our backs, and they deserve a Super Bowl. We've been so close to the promised land, but I feel like this city needs another Super Bowl, and we have, like I said, the talent, and we just have to be focused. Everyone has to do 111th, and we can get it. So, pressure is not a thing, but it's a privilege, like I said.
We can't leave here today without talking a little Penn State football. Obviously, you talk about expectation. It doesn't get much higher for the Nittany Lions coming in the preseason #1 ranked. You watch that from afar as being a former Nittany Lion yourself. What's that kind of feeling invoking yourself, and how cool is it to see that the strides Penn State has made since you got there?
It just makes me proud to be a part of such a great alumni, a school. When we were coming up, we all knew that this program was special, and that we were kind of like planting the seeds. Obviously, we had Saquon before us, but like we were the group that was like letting players know that it's still cool to go to Penn State, and there's a legacy that could be built here. So just seeing the way that they've progressed these past few years, almost getting to the promised land, like us per se, it's kind of motivating for me too. It's like trying to see if my school can get it before me and stuff like that. But I'm happy with what James Franklin's doing. He's a great coach, great players. You see, the draft is always littered with Penn State guys. So. I'm excited to see what they do this year.
A handful of Penn State guys in that locker room too. Like, do you guys chat about it? Like, when you guys talk, like, well, what's that conversation like?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of Penn State haters in there, but we always have pride because, like we said, the draft's always littered with Penn State guys. We're always, gutting out wins that no one thinks that we'd win. But I'm proud. We're proud to be, we are Penn State. We're proud.
Lastly, there, in terms of kind of what would make a successful 2025 season for you personally and for the Baltimore Ravens as a team? What's kind of that goal?
We need that Super Bowl, to be honest. AFC game, getting bounced in the playoff, that's cool. But like at that point, that's our baseline. So winning the Super Bowl, and then personally for me, it's just honestly like doing better than what I did last year. Like I said, that's my baseline now, and I wouldn't be happy with just 10 sacks now, or a certain amount of tackles, a certain amount of TFLs. I want to up that, so just doing better than last year.
I think the fans match you in that kind of that excitement and kind of having that high bar for them. A message you have for those fans out there that came out today and from far and wide who cheer on for the Ravens this season?
Yeah, I mean, just keep on rocking with us. Obviously, we're a team that we're always striving to get better, and we're going to get better. We have a great QB in Lamar, and we're going to get it done this year. Defense is going to be dominant. Offense, we have weapons all over. So, just rock with us because we're going to put on a show this year.
Okay, awesome. Adafe, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. One of the Ravens coaches is using her platform to help empower women in sports. Kaylin Buskkey, a graduate of Cumberland Valley High School and Millersville University, is an assistant strength and conditioning coach with the team. I caught up with Buskkey to talk about how she's using her platform to help those follow her footsteps.
It's my third year being involved in Lift, and so about 2 years ago, Megan and I were approached with the idea of we really wanted to encapsulate the day as much as we can to make the girls truly see, understand, and experience what it means to be a Baltimore Raven. Like, there's just so much pride in that. Like, this historic organization has such a well-told history that like to try to expose as many girls to what that looks like as possible, right? And so that's really the main overarching goal of the day.
You look back at your journey. Obviously, there's a bunch of people back home in Central PA that are quite stoked to see where you're at, starting in Central PA and kind of reflecting on that and seeing where you are now. How crazy has it been?
Oh, it's been insane. So me and my sister went up through the Cumberland Valley School District our whole way through. Sports are such a huge thing at Cumberland Valley, so we were active participants in that, softball specifically, our whole way through our high school career. And we were super fortunate to represent that program and then go on to play in college. And then went off to college and came back home, was in the central Pennsylvania area, and right about the time where I was getting an internship opportunity, I got the chance to meet Lori Locust, who is also from the central PA area, and then just to get to watch her represent the 717, represent South Central Pennsylvania in the National Football League. She's truly been a mentor of mine and truly has kind of set the standard in terms of like creating a path to follow. Reflecting all the way back from just being from central Pennsylvania, making the most of the opportunities that I have, having wonderful role models that currently work here in the NFL that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to follow. Just trying to continue to meet the standard that she set as we continue to grow the number of women that work in different roles in the league.
But in terms of finding that person and finding those women that you can look up to and be like, you know what, I'm going to be like her someday. How vital was that to get to where you are today?
Oh, it was incredibly important, just because we're navigating new waters. A lot of women that are in roles in the league are the first women to hold those positions in the league. And so it's super important to find community in those women because we're all navigating similar things because we're the first females in those roles. And so finding those women has been super important to just lean on, right? Like that sense of community has really helped me grow as a person. They've challenged me as a professional, changed my perspective on a couple things. And so those women have been absolutely vital in my development and my growth and my role here, not only just within the Baltimore Ravens, but also in the National Football League.
How important is it for you to kind of give back and be that person that you had when you were growing up? And you can hear it off of your voice. I mean, it's meaningful for you.
100%. It means everything to me. I take immense responsibility because it is a responsibility, right? And so I hope that the more women that we see work in football, the more girls are going to be able to turn on football games on Sundays and look on the sideline and see someone that looks like them, right? I was very fortunate enough to have someone that not only did that, but was also from the same place that I was, which was awesome.
There's a lot of girls at Cumberland Valley, girls in central Pennsylvania that see your name and see what you're doing now, and what is your message to them? And there's a bunch of central PA people wanting to hear from you. So what do you have to say back to your hometown?
Yeah, so keep showing up, keep stepping in the door, keep being your authentic self. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be your authentic self. Don't let anyone try to change who you are, who you want to be, and who you know is your best self.
Great to hear Kaylin's story, and from all the other people we've heard from today. I hope you're just as ready for the upcoming Baltimore Ravens season as we are, and all geared up for 2025. I'm Ryan Yee. Thanks for watching Camp Confidential Baltimore Ravens. We'll see you next time.